Welcome to our live news. I am Ugochi Ekenta. The headlines. APC Vice Chairman Lukman alleges aspirants of bribing NWC in National Assembly leadership. Obasanjo demands national reconciliation from incoming government. Defense headquarters speak, reveal stand on interim government plots. And on the foreign scene, Mexican president criticizes Trump's opponents over felony charges. In sports, Xavi laments after El Clasico thrashing. Now,
this is Alive TV.
Now the news in detail. The All Progressives Congress National Vice Chairman Northwest, Salihu Lukman, on Thursday claimed that some aspirants contesting for the leadership of the 10th National Assembly have resorted to bribing. Lukman alleged that the aspirants are bribing members of the party's National Working Committee. He further stated that the likes of rice, sugar, and several other things are being used for bribery. Lukman raised this alarm in a brief chat on Thursday in Abuja. Senators who are eyeing top leadership slots in the Red Chamber of the National Assembly have intensified efforts lobbying and cajoling lawmakers, members of the All Progressive Congress, APC, and other stakeholders. Lawmakers serving 2 or more terms in the National Assembly are traditionally elected presiding officers, and in the Senate, the lawmaker will need at least 55 votes to win the election. Those interested in the positions, especially among the ranking senators, are already reaching out to others for support, the media reports. Also, there are insinuations that Governor David Umahi, APC Ebonyi South, and Comrade Adams Oshomole, APC Edo North, who would be first-time legislators, are interested in becoming Senate president. A senior advocate of Nigeria, Afam Osigwe, SAN, has said no court in the country would grant an injunction stopping the inauguration of the president-elect, Bola Tinubu, as the president. Osigwe was reacting to an alarm raised by the Department of State Services that there is a plot to call for an interim government and a plan to stop the inauguration of Tinubu through a series of violent protests and attempts to get court injunctions. Speaking in an interview with the press, Osigwe said he would be shocked if any court grants an injunction to restrain Tinubu, who has been declared the winner of an election, from being sworn in. The foremost lawyer stated that if hypothetically the court gives the order to remove a person, it will take effect if it is upheld by the Supreme Court. He added that the right to peaceful protests should be protected by the society. Osigwe also slammed the DSS for issuing a press statement about the alleged plots, saying that the secret police should have been professional about the comment. Still in the local stories, a former president of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, on Thursday made demands from the incoming government in the country. The elder statesman charged the administration to work to facilitate national moral rearmament and reconciliation. Obasanjo stated this in reaction to how voting of preferred candidates turned out during the just concluded general elections. He noted that working to achieve moral rearmament would bring about healing and assuage Nigerian youths. The former president further stated that the youths are angered by the shortcomings of the elections. Obasanjo stated this while delivering his speech at a conference in Abuja organized by Next Year and the Ibadan School of Governance and Public Policy, themed From Elections to Governance and Performance. He added that governance in Nigeria now requires thinking outside the box to rescue the nation in terms of its plunging economy and huge national debt burden. Obasanjo in his statement said there must also be the political will and action, as well as administrative efforts to reform the public service and turn it into a capability-ready unit. Obasanjo noted that in light of the challenges facing the country, he is now too old to keep quiet. He vowed to continue to voice concerns for the benefit of the nation. The Defense Headquarters on Thursday condemned the call for the imposition of an interim government in the country. There had been claims that some elements are against the swearing-in of the president-elect Bola Tinubu on the 29th of May 2023. The DHQ, in its reaction to the reports, stated that an interim government is illegal and unconstitutional. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Musa Dammadami, while answering journalists' questions on the call for an interim government, noted that the DHQ would not support such a move. And now to foreign stories. South Africa's government on Wednesday revoked a national state of disaster declared in February to manage a crippling electricity crisis, but said that some emergency measures would remain in place. The state of disaster gave the government additional powers to respond to the crisis, including by permitting emergency procurement procedures with fewer bureaucratic delays and less oversight. The government will now work to reduce the impact of power cuts using existing legislation and contingency arrangements, cooperative governance. Traditional Affairs Minister Thembi Nkendimeng said in a statement. The newly appointed Electricity Minister, Gosiensho Ramokoba, said some crisis measures would remain in place. The Deputy Minister of Cooperative Governance, Park Staal, said that since the establishment of the Ministry of Electricity, there had been discussions about whether the state of disaster was still necessary. State of disaster legislation was used to enable health authorities respond more swiftly to the COVID-19 pandemic, but some analysts doubted it would help the government expand power supply much quicker. Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador on Wednesday said he does not agree with the criminal charges brought against former U.S. President Donald Trump. Trump was charged on Tuesday with 34 felony counts on falsifying business records in a historic case over allegations he orchestrated hush money payments to two women before the 2016 U.S. election to suppress publication of their sexual encounters with him. Trump, the first sitting of former U.S. president to face criminal charges, pleaded not guilty. Leftist populist López Obrador compared Trump's case to the December ulcer of former Peruvian president Pedro Castillo, who was removed from office and arrested after trying to dissolve Congress. And now to sports. FC Barcelona manager Xavi Hernandez has described his team's humiliating defeat to Real Madrid as a shame. On Wednesday night, coach Carlo Ancelotti led Real Madrid to the Nou Camp for the second leg of the Copa del Rey semi-finals, and Xavi couldn't continue his pleasant starts against Barca's arch-rivals. Note that before the El Clasico on Wednesday night, Xavi has recorded an unprecedented 3 straight wins against Real Madrid as a manager. In the first leg of the Copa del Rey semi-finals, FC Barcelona defeated Madrid 1-0 at the Santiago Bernabeu. However, in the reverse fixture, Vinicius' first half goal and Karim Benzema's second half hat-trick overturned the scoreline and knocked out Barcelona 4-1 on aggregate after the game. Xavi told reporters that he would find it difficult to sleep at night due to the scoreline, not just as a manager, but as a fan of the club. On May 6, Real Madrid will attempt to win their first major title this season when they meet with Osasuna in the Copa del Rey final. The kickoff time is yet to be determined. Folarin Balogun will return to Arsenal at the end of this season as French League One slide Reims rule out the possibility of a permanent deal. Folarin Balogun has been on loan at the French League One side since the beginning of the 2022-2023 season. The Englishman agreed to a loan deal when he couldn't break into coach Mikel Arteta's first 11 at Arsenal. Since he arrived at Reims, Balogun has been in scintillating form as he has scored a whopping 18 goals in 30 appearances in all competitions for the French side. Interestingly, Balogun is ahead of Paris Saint-Germain forwards Lionel Messi and injured Neymar in terms of total goals scored in France this season. And that's all on the news for the hour. Thanks for watching.